America has the world's largest prison population. More than half of those in federal prisons are serving time for non-violent drug offences. Many people think that's too harsh a penalty, including President Obama.
Over the last few years, a lot of people have become aware of the inequities in the criminal justice system. The fact that we spend over $80 billion a year in incarcerating people, oftentimes who've only been engaged in nonviolent drug offenses.
The president's commuted the sentences of 46 non-violent drug offenders who've served more than a decade, bringing the total to nearly 90 throughout his presidency.
These men and women were not hardened criminals, but the overwhelming majority had been sentenced to at least 20 years. So their punishments didn't fit the crime.
What the president is doing is he's sending a strong message to the American public that we need to rethink how we deal with drug offenses.
This is the change of course from America's war on drugs in the 1980s, when tough penalties were introduced for non-violent drug offenders. This graph shows how the prison population rocketed after many states introduced 3 strikes policies and mandatory minimum sentences, putting more people behind bars. And race plays a big part. The largest proportion of non-violent drug offenders is black.
The war on drugs had a tremendous impact on the African American community, turning the public's eye to how those incarceration rates have negatively impacted the community as a whole, not just the African American community, is a big, important step that the president is taking.
Another big reason people are pushing prison reform is money. It costs around $31,000 a year to house every inmate, and with Republicans and Democrats struggling to balance budgets, President Obama believes now is the time for reform.
But I believe that at its heart, America is a nation of second chances, and I believe these folks deserve their second chance.